What is up, my loves? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Nath Hughes here. I am devastated by, okay, I can't put my hands in the video. We are having a crisis with the lighting and the camera and the everything, so I can't talk with my hands for this video. Okay. For those of you that are new here, my name is Natalie Hughes. I'm a life manifestation and mindset coach on my platform. My job is to, I didn't think about an intro. All right, what is up, my loves? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Natalie Hughes. I'm a life manifestation and mindset coach. My objective on my platform and in my business is to help empower you to create an emotionally fulfilled life for yourself in every aspect of life. That was a really good intro. That was probably one of the best intros that we've done. Also, my eyelashes kind of look amazing. I kind of look really beautiful. We don't have time. We don't have time for an anecdote. Let's keep going. All right. You know the phrase, what you want wants you? In today's video, we're going to break that down super simple so that you actually understand what it means. So that way, when you're saying the phrase, what I want wants me, you'll actually be able to put some feeling behind it, put a little bit of juice behind it. In other words, you'll actually be able to believe what it is that you're saying. And I think that that's an important thing. That's something that really shifts the tide for me in terms of manifesting and calling things in. I'm somebody who needs to understand the why. I'm not somebody who you can just tell me something, tell me to say this, tell me to read this paragraph, and I go, okay, somebody on the internet told me, so I'm going to say it and I'm going to believe it, and then I'll receive from that, you know. That might work for some people. That doesn't work for me. And if you are on my channel, then you're probably somebody who also needs to understand the why behind certain things. And that's what we cover a lot on this channel. I want to understand why I think in the way that I do. I want to understand why these spiritual concepts work for me in the way that they do. And when I understand why, it's that much easier for me to apply these concepts, for me to say these affirmations, and to get results from it. So what you want wants you. What that really ultimately means is that there's no resistance in your reality. There's no resistance in your reality. Your reality, do you know those memes on the internet that are like, I retweeted one recently. I'm going to share it on my Instagram. It's like, I'm not arguing with anybody who's, no, it's like, I'm not arguing with myself. Whatever you say, beautiful. And that's literally your reality. I'm not arguing with myself. Whatever you say, beautiful. I'm not arguing with myself. Whatever you say, beautiful. And one more time, so I could be like Dr. Umar. I'm not arguing with myself. Whatever you say, beautiful. That's your reality. Your reality is only responding to you. So what I didn't really like about that phrase and affirmation, what you want wants you, is that it kind of sort of makes it seem like your physical reality is a sentient being, right? It kind of seems like $1 million has a conscience, and $1 million is deciding that it wants to be yours. $1 million is deciding that it wants to be in your bank account. $1 million is deciding that it's coming to you no matter what. And honestly, if you could get into the vibe of $1 million wants to be in my bank account, like that's actually a pretty good vibe to be in. But the point is that if you were to get into that vibe, it would be a choice. Are you understanding me? You could also get into the vibe of $1 million doesn't want to be around me. $1 million is hard to come by. $1 million is avoiding me. Right? You can assign whatever you want to assign to anything in your life. And a lot of people do that, right? They say phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees. They're essentially saying money isn't readily available for me. Money isn't easy for me to get. Money is evading me. And because they're saying those phrases, they're having that experience. Their reality is going, I'm not arguing with myself. Whatever you say, beautiful. Money doesn't grow on trees. Absolutely, you're correct. You're correct. And you're going to be broke and you're going to stay broke. Aye, Captain. Like, your physical reality is just affirming whatever it is that you're telling it, reflecting back to you whatever it is that you're telling it. So when you're saying the affirmation, or when we're having a conversation about the concept that what I want wants me, we're not having a conversation that says my physical reality and the things in my vortex or the things that I want and desire have thoughts, right? My dream car, my Mercedes wants to be with me. It's like, that's not exactly what they're saying when they say what you want wants you. What they're saying is there's no resistance. When you say, people love to pay me, your reality says, yes, ma'am. And you experience people who love to pay you. When you say, I drive my dream car, your reality says, yes, ma'am. And your dream car must manifest. When you say, I have more money than I know what to do with, your reality says, yes, ma'am. And then more money that you know what to do with has to come. It has to show up. When you say, I have great, amazing coworkers have to show up. Your reality is always going to conform to whatever you assume and whatever you believe and whatever you affirm, period, point blank. So when they're saying the phrase, what you want wants you, what they're saying is there's nobody between you and your desires. There's nobody who's telling you that you can't have it. When you go, I want more money, there isn't a God, universe, angel, deity in the sky that's going, more money. I don't know if I should get them more money. I don't know. Are they scheduled for more money? Might not be the right divine timing for them to get more money today. We'll try again later. Like, that's not happening. That's not happening. What you want wants you means that what you desire is available to you. What you desire is available to you. You can select, you can choose, you can decide to have what you want in life. That's it. And the reason why it feels like a much more complex process or a much more difficult process for you to receive the things that you want and desire is because you not only, it's like your reality is neutral, but your reality is responding to everything that you've been saying and expecting and believing up until now. So if you've been living and affirming, even subconsciously, that means outside of your own awareness, if you've been living and affirming for a reality where guys always ghost you, people don't want to take care of you, people don't meet your emotional needs, people don't want to pay you, people can't afford to pay you, your work isn't valuable, people don't care about what you have to say, people don't watch your videos. If you have been telling those stories and that's being reflected in your reality, then when you go to tell a new story, you might feel like there's that pushback. You might have an experience of some internal pushback because your mind's been running with these subconscious stories for however long you've been telling them. Your mind has been running with the story that you have a shitty workplace for however long you've been working. Or maybe even if you watched your mom or your dad or your parents struggle in their workplace and deal with conflicts there, your mind started saying, oh, when we go to work, we have conflicts. When we are out in the world, we have conflicts with other people. So you start picking up these expectations from a million different places. Long story short, you've been telling this story for some time. Your reality is not fighting against you, but you just have some stories that you've been telling in your subconscious mind for a long period of time. So it kind of feels like just a moment of contrast. It feels like a moment of contrast when you actually decide to start telling a new story. If you've been telling the story that there's not enough money for bills, there's never enough money for bills, I'm freaking out about bills, I'm scared around bills. When you start shifting, you start imagining a world, you start tapping into the vibe of there's always more than enough money for bills, there's always more than enough money for what I need, I'm financially safe and secure. When you start telling that new story, it might feel like a lie. It might feel like it's untrue. It might feel like that's the opposite of what's happening. You might be able to look at your bank account and see something that's completely different. And so then you could start going, oh my God, what do you mean? What I want wants me. Why isn't it showing up? Why isn't it changing? And that thought, that energy, that experience is when you're still, in a way, affirming for the current reality that you have. When you start depending on what's happening in your physical reality to determine whether or not you're the creator, is when you're giving your power to your subconscious mind. You're giving your power to the stories that you've been telling for years and years and years. So really, manifestation is the game of empowerment. It's a game of being in charge of your mind. It's a game of being in charge of your focus. Are you willing to be in charge of your mind and your focus regardless of what's happening in your physical reality? Are you willing to be in charge of your mind and your focus? Are you willing to be deliberate with the things that you think and the things that you focus on, regardless of what's showing up in your physical reality? And when you decide that you're going to be the leader of your mind, when you decide that you're going to deliberately choose your thoughts, you're going to deliberately choose your focus, when that's the decision that you make, then you make it that much easier for your reality to quickly change and shift. But when you go and do a couple affirmations and you do a little bit of journaling and you do a little bit of EFT tapping, and then you go look in your physical reality and you're like, what's going on? Nothing has shifted. It's like you're not being the leader of your mind. You're not believing in your own power. You're not believing in the power that you have over your physical reality. So it's like there's a little bit of work to do in certain areas depending on how you respond to things not going your way. But that's not even the purpose of this video. So what's our point? The point is this: your reality is neutral. There is no predetermined God, angel, ancestor, spirit guide in the sky who said, you must have this. It's neutral. Your reality is neutral. Money is neutral. Success is neutral. Love is neutral. Your soulmate is neutral. Everything in your physical reality is neutral. And everything is responding to your energy. Everything is responding to your thoughts. So you step into that leadership position in your life and you deliberately choose to think, I'm so supported by money. You deliberately choose to think, I was made for an amazing love. You deliberately choose to think, I am in the greatest relationship ever in my life. You deliberately choose to think, I'm making more money than I know what to do with. You deliberately choosing to focus in ways that support your well-being and being willing to ignore everything else. You keep doing that, you keep showing up in that way, then your neutral reality has to shift to reflect something new. Your reality is not a sentient being that is saying, no, I liked it better when we were torturing you. I liked it better when you were broke. I liked it better when things were going downhill. I liked it better when nobody was buying from your business. No, I want to keep it this way. No, that's not what's happening. Your reality is ready to change now. Your reality is ready to change today. Your reality is neutral. The job of manifesting is not learning how to change your reality. The job in manifesting is learning how to change your own mind. It's learning how to be the leader in your own mind. It's learning how to be more, you could call it disciplined, but really, it's just learning a different way of being. It's a different way of responding to life. Like when a challenge comes in my life, when something difficult happens in my life, when something weird happens in my life, I don't look at that problem and go, how do I attack this problem and how do I make this problem go away? Because I'm a manifester, I look at that problem and I go, who's the version of me who already overcame this shit? What's the version of me who already handled this shit? I hop, skip, and jump over my problems. I hop, skip, and jump over my difficulties. I hop, skip, and jump over my challenges. I don't wage war against my physical reality because I'm empowered. So when things are going on in the outside world that I don't like, I'm not going to fight against what's happening externally. I'm going to go internally. The last thing I'll say before I end this video is something that I said to my members of my mentorship, the Next Level Mindset mentorship. It's going so good, you guys. I am super excited for when we do the next round. I think because I really love what's happening. This is like the second week of it, but I'm already in love. So I think I'm gonna like open up another round like immediately in July or August when the first round ends because it's so good. But anyway, what I said to them during our first call was, you don't have time. You don't have time to look at your physical reality and notice all of the money that's not in your bank account. You don't have time to look at your physical reality and notice that you have the worst job in the world. You don't have time to look at your physical reality and notice that you're not in a relationship with your soulmate. You don't have time. When you're the deliberate manifestor and creator of your reality, you don't have time to do that, because at any given moment in time, especially when you're noticing that things are going in a way that you don't want them to, you have journal prompts, you have exercises that you can do, you have EFT tapping, you have breath work, you have meditation. You literally, at any given moment in time, especially when you're noticing that things aren't going your way, you can take yourself to your desired reality immediately. Instead of looking at your bank account going, I'm unsatisfied with this, what would it be like if I was super satisfied with my money? What would it be like if I was super satisfied with my bank account? What would it be like if I was super satisfied with my investments? What would it be like if I was super satisfied with my savings? What would it be like if I was super satisfied in my relationships? What would it be like if I was super satisfied with what's going on in my job? What would it be like if I was super satisfied with what's going on in my YouTube channel? What would it be like if I was super satisfied? Literally. You can take every single question that I just asked. If you were really, really smart, if you were really smart, you would take out a journal right now and you would answer every single one of those questions. And if every single time you noticed that you were feeling dissatisfied, you bust out just those journal questions alone, and you were to answer that, give yourself a couple minutes, put a couple minutes on a timer and answer those questions. Give yourself that time to deliberately focus on having what you want and having your desire. If you were to do that every single time you notice things not going your way, then your reality would powerfully be shifting. But what do most people do? They notice that things aren't going their way, and then they focus on it, and then they harp on it, and then they have to go and tell every single person who they've ever met in their life about it. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with needing to be emotionally validated and supported by other people, but at some point you're moving past being validated and supported, and you're moving into crying and complaining and carrying on, and all that's doing is perpetuating the unhelpful stories, perpetuating the unwanted vibration. At some point you decide, nope, I'm done with this. I'm going to drop this. I'm going to let this go. I've processed. I've moved through. I understand what I feel. I understand how I feel. I understand the stories that I was telling that created this experience, and now I'm ready to tell a new story. And if you don't yet have the skill of identifying what stories you're telling that are creating the unwanted experiences, then I would highly, highly, highly recommend you grab my 6 Steps from Stuck to Self-Aware bundle. It is absolutely free and it's really, really good. There's a meditation, a prayer, and a little journal prompt template thing for you to easily identify any limiting belief in any situation or scenario. It's really, really good, and it honestly should not be free. What else? There's that. You're committing to deliberately shifting your focus. You're committed to deliberately seeing things go your way. At any given moment in time, you can take yourself in your imagination, even when you're terrified. Even when you're terrified. I didn't say that it was going to be without challenge. Even when you're absolutely terrified, you can take yourself to a place of things working out for you. I have just done it the month of December and the month of January. The months of December and January were the worst. They were the worst. They weren't the worst, because as you heal more and more and you grow and expand more and more, your worst days don't really compare. Like my worst day in 2014, like December and January weren't worse than the worst days I had in 2014. You know what I'm saying? But they were the worst months that I've had in a really long time, because I was growing and elevating and expanding my income, expanding what I expect from money and my reality, and a whole bunch of fears got triggered. We'll talk about that in another video. I've actually got some podcast episodes that you can listen to about that. I'll have the podcast linked in the description box. But I dealt with so much fear, so much worry, so much anxiety. And even when you can hear your heartbeat pumping in your motherfucking ear, even then, bitch, I'm still EFT tapping. I'm still affirming. I'm still journaling. I'm still scripting. I'm still seeing things go my way. I'm still visualizing. I'm still meditating. And that's what takes you out of that. That's what gets you to the other side. Because when you're journaling and you're scripting and you're seeing things go your way, you're spending time in the vibration of your desire. Your vibration is shifting and changing. You're attracting more epiphanies. You're attracting more thought patterns. And long story short, you're changing the way that you respond to your reality. When you show up and you do this work, deliberately choosing to focus differently, deliberately choosing to think differently, even in moments of challenges and strife and all of that stuff, you respond differently and you get out of those challenges much easier and much quicker, because you know how to pull yourself out of them. And that's empowerment. And when you can pull yourself out of a negative place, or you can pull yourself out of a negative or unwanted experience, then you're creating your reality. Then you're empowered. That's all that empowerment is you recognizing at any given moment in time, I can choose to think differently. At any given moment in time, I can choose to expect a better feeling experience. At any given moment in time, I can focus on what life would be like if things were going my way. And when you develop that skill of focusing on things going your way, you become someone who is always focusing on things going their way. And as you focus more on things going your way, you'll find that more often than not, shit just starts going your way. Okay, that's as good as we're getting in this video. I wasn't even planning on it being that long. Let me give a really quick, easy recap. What did we talk about in today's video? What you want wants you. Your reality is not sentient. Your reality is neutral. The phrase and idea and concept of what I want wants me means that my reality does not have a say, does not want to have a say. I did not come into this reality so that I could have a conversation with reality and negotiate and go back and forth about what I would experience in this life. I came here, I incarnated as the creator of my reality. I came here and I incarnated as an extension of source energy. The way that I think, the way that I focus, the way that I speak is going to determine what I experience and what my reality reflects back to me. No matter what, my reality is a yes man. Everything in my reality is a yes man. Money is a yes man. So when I decide that money is easy for me, when I decide that sales are easy for me, when I decide that relationships are easy for me, that must happen in my physical reality, that must manifest in my physical reality. And instead of spending my time going back and forth with my physical reality, which is only responding to me, empowerment and deliberate manifestation, deliberate co-creation is when I decide to go inward, when I decide to take myself to my desired state internally. I decide to visualize. I decide to meditate. I decide to journal. I decide to script. And I don't have time to look at my physical reality to ask questions of why hasn't it shown up yet? Because there's always something deeper that I can get into. There's always another journal question that I can answer. There's always another journal question that I can go back to and get deeper on. And there's always something different that I can visualize, right? There's always some type of mindset work that you can do. Like, I'll give one example from me. I do my mindset work and my journaling work around my business, getting more clients, getting more customers. At some point a couple of months ago, I was doing a lot of mindset work around my marketing and building up my confidence around my marketing. Today, I'm journaling and a huge limiting belief comes up of a part of me not valuing my energy, my time, and my effort and what I have to say. And so now I'm starting to journal on what would it be like if my work was incredibly valuable? What experiences would I be having if my work was incredibly valuable? What experiences would people have if they were coming to my store, my shop, my business, my website, my social media, if my work and my time and my energy and my effort were completely valuable? If you're smart, you'll be writing these questions down and answering them yourself. I am giving you free game. You are welcome. So I'm focusing on value in a way that I've never focused on value before. I don't have time to look at my physical reality and see who's bought and who hasn't bought and how much money is coming in and how much money isn't coming in because I'm focused. Obviously, I have intimacy with my money. I know how much money I'm making and blah, 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 but I don't have time to obsess over it. I look at the numbers, I know what the numbers are, and then I take myself back to my internal world and I'm focusing on what I'm creating and I'm focusing on where I'm going. And that's all that I have time for because there's a million different things that you can focus on. It doesn't matter what you're focusing on, but you're focusing on something that's happening in your desired reality and experience. And the more you focus on that desired reality and experience, the more comfortable that you become in that desired reality and experience. You're living in that desired reality and experience before it manifests in your physical reality. And when it shows up in your physical reality, boom, you're already used to it. You're already accustomed to it. It's already normal for you. It's already natural for you. There is no, oh my God, I got the manifestation and then I started freaking out because I wasn't used to it. No, the money comes into your account. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is normal. This feels exactly how it has always felt because I was living in the experience where I had the money in my account before it got here physically. I was living in the experience where I had the dream relationship before it got here physically. That's manifestation. That's deliberate co-creation. My happiness and my self-confidence and my feelings of victoriousness and triumphantness are not dependent on what's happening in my physical reality. I am empowered. I control my focus. I control my thoughts, and my emotions are just consequences of the thoughts that I'm thinking and where I'm focusing. I hope that this video helped you. If it did, I would love it if you would like this video and subscribe if you aren't already. And if you want more content and support from me, then I definitely suggest checking out my miniature courses. Well, they're not miniature anymore. They are my virtual online courses. And the one that I really feel called to point out to you in alignment with this video is the course that is called Visual Vamp Up. And inside of that course, I am teaching you how to identify, expand, and a vision that actually manifests. I'm trying to think of the tagline, but I can't. But basically, the course Visual Vamp Up is just about learning how to take yourself to the end state, learning how to take yourself to that world and learning how to really get intimate with it. What is it like? And there are amazing exercises inside of it, like our EFT tapping, there's like an EFT tapping script, but I also teach you how to create your own EFT tapping scripts from the end state, from the vibration of your desire. It's a powerful course that really teaches you how to unleash the power of your imagination, because that's what your internal world is. It's your imagination. So if you feel called, definitely check out that course. You can enroll now. It's one of my courses that I have for open, that's always open for enrollment. So you can check that out and you can join whenever you feel called and whenever you feel ready. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next one.